Hello everyone, I am Devansh and I welcome you all to my channel World in My Words. So in today's video, I'm going to explain you United Nations Organization General Assembly, also known as UNGA. So in this video, I will tell you some of its key features, the structure and many other things. So stay tuned till the end. And one more thing, I was really very happy on your suggestions and your support in the first video. Thanks a lot and please support me till the end like the same. So, with starting with the video, first I'll explain you about UNO, some things about UNO. So the United Nations organization is divided into six parts. First, General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice, and Secretariat. In this video, we are gonna learn the General Assembly. So, what is the General Assembly? So, the General Assembly is a part of United Nations. The first assembly of General Assembly was convened on January 10, 1946 in London. At that time, there were only 51 member countries in UNA, but now we are having 193 countries, as I told you in the last video. So, what is the function of the General Assembly, or what does General Assembly do? The General Assembly decides the matters such as peace and security of nations and other international issues. It also decides it also decides the admission of other new countries. So, one of its main function is also to approve the budget of UN. Every organization needs money to run. So, the General Assembly gives the budget or approves the budget of the whole United Nations organization. So, what is the objective of UNGA? The UNGA deliberates and decides on important matters such as peace and security and other international issues, which means that the UNGA gives their decision and helps the countries to maintain peace and secure their nations, and the UNGA also helps in other international issues. So, the General Assembly is to discuss, debate, and make recommendations on subjects pertaining to development, disarmament, human rights, international law, and the peaceful arbitration of disputes. This means that the members of the General Assembly discuss and debate and make recommendations on subjects of pertaining to development, which means they give their suggestions for the development of the world and the development of UNO especially. They also look after the disarmament of the world, which means that there should be less weapons and more friendship between all countries. Human rights, which means what the humans are supposed to do, and uh, what are the rights, we can say. International law, which means that all countries should follow a single law which is equally treated to everyone. And one main thing, which is peaceful arbitration of disputes, which means that if there are any disputes among countries or any wars, it should be peacefully ended. The UNGA also maintains international peace and security through the pursuits of the elimination of nuclear weapon and other weapons of mass destruction and the regulation of conventional arms. This means that UNGA also maintains the peace and security of nations by trying to remove all nuclear weapons and weapons of mass destruction. Now, the countries cannot give out all their weapons, like for example guns and grenades and all, because they require guns and some of the weapons for the security of their nation, and so there are no problems in their nation. But the mass destructive weapons, for example nuclear weapons, are something that are not required, or you can say are not supposed to be used in today's world. So the UNGA tries to remove all these weapons from the world. The UNGA also promotes human rights, fostering cooperation and addressing global issues. The human rights have been already explained. Fostering cooperation means uh, all the countries should cooperate with each other in all works. Addressing global issues, like if there are some issues which the whole world are equally facing, the UNGA has to work on it and has to get a solution for it. Now we get now the structure of UNGA. So the UNGA, United Nations Organization General Assembly, is divided into the given parts. First, plenary. Plenary is where the conference opens and closes, where major statements are made and broad ranging debate may be conducted, and where all decisions by the conference are taken. In simple words, plenary means the main sessions or meetings during a conference where opening and closing sessions are held and many things of great difference are told. This includes broad ranging debates and many which may be conducted and which are really helpful for the whole world, and where all decisions made by and where all decisions by the conference are taken. So plenary is basically the place where the major things, major decisions I can say, are taken of for the world. So there are six committees in the General Assembly. Now, if I keep on explaining all of them in detail, the video will be really very long. So I'll just tell you the a few functions or uh, a few definition or a few functions of the committees of the General Assembly. So the first committee, disarmament and international security, which takes care of the which takes care that there are no atomic bombs dropped anywhere, or the security of places of, or like the security of the nations are as good as as good as the security of other nations. Second committee, which is economic and financial, which looks after the economic and financial conditions, which is the if if there are some financial issues in the UNO itself, or in the world, if there are some financial or economic issues of for some country, so the second committee of the UNGA also looks after that. The third committee, social, humanitarian and cultural, this looks after the cultural beliefs and cultural issues if the people are facing, and for example, if any religion like Islam is facing some issues in some country, like the country is not respecting their religion, the UNGA's third committee looks after that. The fourth committee, which looks after the special political and decolonization. Now, if you see the word decolonization, it is made of two words, de and colonizations. Colonization means like colonization means a country is ruling other country, like the UK or the Britain did on India for 200 to 300 years in the 19th and 18th. So the UNGA's fourth committee looks after the decolonization, which means no country should be colonizing other country, and if some country does that, that country will be severely punished. The fifth committee looks after the administrative and budgetary of the UNA. So, and the sixth committee looks after the legal issues and legal things of the whole UNA and the world. Now, the next thing is the President of the United Nations General Assembly. The President of the United Nations General Assembly is a position voted by representatives in the United Nations General Assembly on a yearly basis. So, the President of the United Nations General Assembly changes year by year. So, and this position is voted by representatives of the United Nations itself. So, the permanent members of the Security Council, which are the USA, UK, France, China, and Russia, cannot have the president in the General Assembly. So, no person from these countries can be the president of General Assembly. Now, Vijay Lakshmi Pandit was the first women president of the General Assembly, and she was an Indian. The current president of UNGA is Dennis Francis of Trinidad and Tobago. Here is his photo. Voting process in the General Assembly. Each member state has one vote. Member state means countries who are the part of the UN General Assembly. Decisions on key issues like international peace and security, admitting new members, and the UN budget are decided by two-thirds majority. Other matters are decided by simple majority. Now you must be thinking that what is the difference between simple majority and two-thirds majority? The answer is that simple majority means the when more than half countries are in the favor of one proposal, the proposal is accepted. But if more than half countries are not in favor of a proposal, the proposal is not accepted. And what does two-thirds majority mean? The two-thirds majority means that the 66% of the whole members of the UNGA are in favor or are against the proposal. If 66% of the members are in uh, in favor of the proposal is accepted, while if 66% of the members are against the proposal is not accepted. General Assembly sessions. The General Assembly meets annually in regular sessions intensively from September to December and resumes in January until all issues on the agenda are addressed. This means that the General Assembly meets regularly from September to December and resumes in January, which means in January it again which means in January it again has some meetings until all the agendas are addressed. Agendas are addressed means all the missions or all the proposals are addressed. A special session of the United Nations General Assembly occurs when the United Nations General Assembly meets in order to discuss an important wide range topic. For example, the UNGA called for three special sessions for the disarmament, first as the 10th special session, which lasted from 23rd May to 30th June 1978. Then the next special session as the 12th for the same purpose, which lasted from 7th June to 10th July 1982. And then the most recent was 15th session related to the disarmament, which lasted from 31st May to 25th June 1988. Now, after 1988, there were many special sessions, but none of them were related to disarmament. Now you must be thinking that who calls these special sessions? So the answer is special sessions can be convened by a vote of 9 members of the Security Council or a majority of United Nations member states. This means that, as I explained you in the last video that about the Security Council, I told that there are 5 permanent members and 10 temporary members. So total of them is 15. So among the 15, if 9 of them vote for a special session, it will the special session will be convened, or either the 9 members of the Security Council should vote for it, or the majority of United Nations member states should vote for a special session. Thanks for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe my channel, and comment below your suggestions and your reviews, and also give suggestions for any more future videos you wanna see. Thank you.